Hey guys, what is up? So we are here today. We have a special guest.
Hello.
What do you want to be called?
Kristen?
This is our special guest, Kristen. In light of the season, love is in the air, or not. And we wanted to make a video about love and just have some girl talk. So no boys allowed. If you're a boy, you can turn this off right now.
No, they need to see this. You need to see this.
So we're going to be talking about just different things that we look for in guys, maybe some things that we should look for in guys, just discuss it together. Not that we have all of the answers, but we just want to talk about it together. If you are watching, dude, take some notes, grab a pen, grab your piece of paper, actually your whole notebook, because we're going to talk about a couple things that might help you also, and our sisters out there that are single, dating, or somewhere in between, married, you're welcome as well, but you probably need to be giving us advice, amen? Okay, buckle up. Seatbelts, so we can be safe. All right.
Yes. What do you guys think about this weather lately?
Boo.
I'm
Boo.
loving it.
All right, so, the sun's so blinding. Okay, so question number one, we are going to navigate here together. What are some things that you personally find attractive in a guy?
So for me, a big thing, obviously number one, because I am single, so this is very real.
Shout out!
Insert number here. No.
Peep that.
Just kidding. So it's important to me to have just someone who has a heart after God, and obviously he's not going to be perfect because I'm not perfect. We're all a mess.
You're
we
not.
need Jesus, but someone who's really chasing after God and pursuing Him. And personally, big plus if you're in ministry. Like that's just like,
Hey.
because like I know I'm called to the ministry and it's exciting, but I want someone I can run with and not
What
have
is
to slow
exciting?
down for. Oh, I don't know. But yeah, be in ministry, love Jesus with all your heart. You don't have to be perfect. I know you're not gonna be, but yeah, that's my number one. What about you?
To find attractive?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is very attractive.
I mean,
okay?
obviously that's, my hat is like a disco ball at this point, but it's fine. Obviously like your spiritual leadership, your ability to lead, your ability to be disciplined in your relationship with God. And I don't have to be like, oh, did you read your scriptures today? Oh, did you have your devotional? Do you actually pray to God? Do you actually know the Lord yourself outside of church attendance?
Yeah.
That is huge for me. That's a given. That is a deal breaker. Boom. And then just to kind of bring it down to our world, on other level, something I personally find so attractive in a guy, honestly, regardless of looks, which there are things that I find physically attractive, but I think one thing that completely stands out to me the most is confidence. A guy that is confident, not cocky, because there's a huge
Yes.
blessed difference. Do not be cocky. That is like, I need to get out of the car right now because no. I love a man that knows who he is. He's got confidence in the way he dresses, the way he carries himself, the way he enters into a room, the way he makes eye contact, the way he communicates. And I'm not saying outgoing either. There is a difference. There is confidence in someone who is okay with just being kind of quiet and a fly on the wall. It's not cockiness. It's not over the top outgoing, because I typically like guys that tend to be a little bit in the background. But when you just confidence. If you're going to tell me something, tell me with confidence. If you're going to text me something, text it with confidence.
Yeah.
Don't be like tiptoeing and like, oh, I don't know, but this, and I don't want to do this because I don't really know. Like, just, I like a guy, like, just be confident in who you are and what you enjoy doing and in your faith, and just be confident. Okay, so do you have anything else you find attractive in a guy?
I was thinking about this. You said confidence, and
Yeah.
I thought, what goes with that is humility, honestly.
Yes.
Someone who's just very humble and
Yeah.
really intentional with a lady's heart. Someone who's not playing with her emotions, because ladies, we have emotions. We all know this. And just someone who's very intentional, and I don't know, it really is awesome for me to see a guy who's not like hanging out with a bunch of girls all the time. And like,
Go ahead. We're about to get to that. What we
yeah,
find unattractive.
Yeah, that was very unattractive. Someone who is humble and guards, his girlfriends, like his friend girls. their hearts. And then also just, this is a little shallow, but someone who's funny can make me laugh because I'm a little more shy, you know, but I am and I'm not. I don't know. But I love someone that can just laugh with me about the stupidest things and also make me laugh. That's a big plus. But yeah.
So just really quick to what you said, I love what you said about humility. Obviously, that's something that's really important. And I think we can tend to equate like humility with shyness, or just like, oh no, don't look at me, like blah, like I never post on Instagram, I never, you know, whatever. Like I don't count that as humility. I think it's someone who can be engaged with other people in their conversations, that knows how to ask them how they're doing and genuinely be able to listen to them in a conversation. Someone that's loyal to their friendships. Obviously that's going to be loyal to me as their person, their significant other. Humble in just how they care for people and how they're intentional. And like, I think when you're humble, humility stems from genuine love for people, and genuine love for people stems from a genuine receiving of the love of God. So when you walk around in that sense of humility, because you're so outside of yourself that you're focused on other people, there's a natural confidence that those people carry / humility. Like, it literally is one and the same. And that's the thing, whatever that is what I'm talking about. So humility, confidence, we could call it confidence, it's hot. To me, at the end of the day, those qualities trump like hot levels, even though, I mean, again, that is important to me, being physically attracted to you. But that, like, and I mean, that is like number one, absolute number one. And then the last thing I was gonna say, also, just to add to the list, is like I have this wrong side. Actually, I'm gonna go this way. Another thing that I wanted to add to that is reputation. And not that I'm saying they have to be the most popular. I'm not saying that they have to have a title. I'm not saying that they have to have some crazy level of status within their church, organization, school, workplace, whatever. Those things are good, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when I go up to someone that is it within your circle, within your community, and they say, dang, like, yep, that's a real one right there. That's a genuine person right there. Someone that has a reputation that is beautiful. Just kind of like Boaz with Ruth. Obviously, like, this is so cliche, Christian, teenage, like, whatever. I'm not a teenager. This is just so, like...
in heart.
Yes, basic, like, Christian fast, but Boaz had a great reputation. He was well known at the city gates, so something like that. And like, that to me is really important. So I don't care what you're saying about you. What are others saying about you? Okay. And who is saying that about you? Because like, I don't really care. No offense, not to sound harsh, but I don't really care what Joe Schmo on the street has to say about you. Does Joe Schmo really know you? Is Joe Schmo, like, what is his perception of a quality person? I'm talking about when people of quality say that you're a person of quality, that shows me that you's really quality. You's gonna be quality in our relationship and in like long term, and it's sick. This lighting's horrible.
Another thing that I look for in a guy, great listener. How about it? A great listener.
Yes.
Someone who asks questions.
Yeah, and like wants the actual answer.
Cares and is not, when you're giving the response, they're not on their phone scrolling.
Good
okay?
Lord. No, get out of my face.
That's not good. So someone who really genuinely cares about what's going on in your life and not just about what's going on in their life.
Yes.
Who, you know, really asks those good questions, those hard questions. Someone who's honest, you know, a man of integrity.
Of course.
That's always a plus, like you just said, you know, someone with great reputation. A seasoned believer, someone who's, you know, just shown that they've been really walking with God and taking their relationship with Him seriously, and that also plays into being a good leader as well, because if we can't lead ourselves, we cannot lead someone in a relationship. We cannot lead a family. So ladies, if you're single out there, you need to think. I'm talking even, I mean, within the first couple of coffee dates, like, could you see this guy actually, or this girl, could you, you know, for the guys, or this girl, like, yeah. It just got really confusing. Look at that person and ask yourself, can you see them raising your future children? in a godly relationship for the guys, you know.
Yeah.
And then guys, ask yourself, can you see this young woman? Can you see her, or old woman? help me, help. Can you see her being the mother of your children? It's important. It is very important. So that's what I mean by a seasoned believer, someone who's taking charge of their relationship with God.
I also would just throw in there something for me personally that I like is a man who has his crap together. He's responsible. He has a job that he's been in for a good amount of time. He has style, and he takes care of himself. And honestly,
Brush your teeth.
please, floss.
Put some deodorant.
Yes. Like, care about what you look like and smell like, please, God. Okay. All right, so question number 2. What are some things that are complete and total turn-offs?
Well, first of all, I just want to say we're not, you know, coming at anyone. Again,
We are.
not expect perfection, because Nikki and I mean, we've both been single. She's in a relationship now, praise God. But we have had many years of singleness, and these are just things we've learned and things we've even, like, God's revealed to us, like, hey, you need to, you know, look for this, look out for this, and grow in this area. So that we're just speaking from experience, and we don't know everything. We know nothing, honestly. Like, we're just students. Like, God is our teacher. So what is a big turn off, a very non-attractive thing for me in a guy, is someone who is like totally obsessed with finding a girlfriend, and you know, they lose themselves in that to where they're not making the most of their singleness. And honestly, I've learned this because God, like, oh, don't kill the squirrel, that was really scary. So someone who is making the most of their singleness with God, and just, that's what I've been on this journey of, just growing as a person and growing close to Jesus, because when you do that, he makes you a whole person. You're a whole by yourself. So when you come together with another person, you become one, right? It's not like 50 and 50. It's 100 and 100% coming together, and it's beautiful. And so someone who is not, like, they're just wanting a girlfriend so bad they're not working on themselves, and then when they get the relationship, finally it ends in heartbreak because they were never ready in the first place and they didn't prepare at all. Like, we have to prepare for this.
Yeah.
And that's what life, I'm not saying that's what life is about, but in some way or another we are all preparing, you know, for something in that next season, whatever God has for us. So just someone that is very looking for a lady, or, you know, girls too, like, you know, for you, like, just, I can speak into this more because I am single, and use this season of, maybe you're struggling with loneliness, just use it to grow so close with God. Serve others. When you serve others, there's a joy like no other that no relationship can bring you.
Right.
There's just something so amazing when you're washing others' feet. It's the best. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, I completely agree, because I think it gets you out of the headspace of yourself. It gets you out of this habitual it gets you out of this habitual navel gazing and focuses your attention on the world around you. And oh my gosh, like, Copernicus was right. The center of the universe is not me. So help someone else get out there and all that stuff. And don't come across as overly thirsty for a mate, because it honestly is a turnoff, and you kind of project that to the world, especially through social media, and people honestly pick up on it. And I'm honestly completely guilty of this in my single days, and I do have some regrets, but whatever, you live and you learn. It's okay, it's fine. God got you. But if you're doing it, maybe just, like, stop. I would say for me, is that where you, did you have more to say? We're good. I would say for me, a huge turnoff, and this is just really simple, but anytime I see this, it just instantly makes me cringe, and I'm done. I'm like, maybe it was a little interest in you before I'm in a relationship now, whatever. Beforehand, when I was in single world, when I was, like, considering someone or found them interesting, and then I'd be scroll. Oh, nope. Okay, X. Next. Thank you, next. Because when I see a guy that takes and posts a picture of himself with his shirt off, and he's, like, hard, high-key flexing it, that is honestly, like, one of the biggest turnoffs ever. Friends, my brothers, you don't gotta do that to get a girl's attention. I promise. I don't care how many abs you have. I don't care if your abs have abs. Please. Do you?
Because that's the type of person you're going to be attracting. Same with the ladies. I
Yeah.
mean, be modest. Do you want some scumbag coming after you? Like, no.
You get what you attract. If you
have
want a
value.
boob, go ahead and show them.
Yeah.
If you want a big old butt,
That's really good.
show them.
Where are
Jeez.
you going? You're trying to...
I mean, don't you agree? To me, like, I don't know what it is, like, oh, I'm gonna post this shirtless picture of myself to attract a lady, but what you're doing is projecting this very sensual image of yourself. So you're naturally going to draw someone that is putting that out there also, and that is looking for that. And that is not typically someone that wants something long term. It just says so many things. A picture truly is worth 1,000 words, and if it is, then a shirtless one is worth like 2,000 because it says too much.
All right, number 3. Do you believe there is a 1?
Do you want me to answer this first?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like this can be such a loaded question. Honestly, short answer, I don't believe there's a 1. I believe that... Oh gosh, this is such a loaded question and I don't want to make this long. I believe that there's lots of options, right? There's a lot of people that could potentially be a really, really good fit for you. But from my experience, my personal experience, I've, gone on some coffee dates, whatever. It seemed like looked good on paper, but didn't quite line up. And could they have been a 1 for me? The 1, whatever. Could we have been soulmates or eventually like connected? Probably. But I didn't want to. And for me, like, I don't even know how to explain this. I believe in alignment. And I just believe like God's not like, oh, Peggy Sue and Bobby Joe are destined to be together. I believe that if Peggy Sue is seeking the Lord and praying and not afraid to put herself out there, not afraid to make herself known in a way that is decent, and she's praying, whatever, that God will align her steps and God will put someone in her path and she can consider him, because one of the greatest gifts that God has given us is free will, and she can consider and choose and pray about it. And if she doesn't feel like she has kind of like a no disconnect, okay, next I'm going to keep praying. I'm going to choose to keep praying, or like I'm going to say yes and I'm going to take a leap and jump on this. I just feel like God aligned you with a particular person. I do believe that, but I don't believe that there is in stone in the book of life, Nikki must marry XYZ. Could be an opportunity or an option from God, but that doesn't mean if you say no, that it's going to completely ruin your destiny and their destiny, and that the kids that were supposed to exist aren't going to exist now because you guys didn't make it happen. Whatever. But I do believe in alignment. I believe in seeking God, and I think that he will bring that person into alignment in a specific timing, in a specific season, and in a specific way. And then at that point, if you both are feeling it and God blesses it to where you both are ready, like there's a readiness and a ripeness, it'll work out and it can bloom and blossom as you guys are intentional in working it out.
I was thinking about this because in my room, I said I believe in the 1, right?
Right.
But I actually kind of changed my mind, because what I'm thinking is, I don't believe there is a 1. I do believe there is a God's best, though.
Yes. Listen.
There is a God's best. So, as a single young lady, what really encourages me is that, you know what, if I'm liking someone and they don't like me back, it doesn't work, I know I can have confidence that, okay, God, you're in control and he was not your best for me. Just believe that there is a best for you, and even if you've been in a previous marriage, a previous relationship, there is so much grace and it's so beautiful.
Redemption.
And like Nikki said, we have free will. That's an awesome gift we, get to utilize from God. I've been in, situations where I might be settling, but I'll just pray, God, you know what? Like, if this person is not for me, let me never hear from them again, or let it just not work out. And every time, I'm telling you, every time he protects me. So as a single young lady, I really get encouraged in knowing, like, okay, he wasn't God's best for me. That's all right, but I know God has someone for me. It's a dream of my heart, and it's something I ask God for. I'm not ashamed of, because I can't wait to be married, do ministry with my husband. Like, it's a real desire. And if
Shout out.
single watching, this video, you have that desire too. ask God boldly for it. Don't be ashamed. It's something that He put inside of us to want, to desire. Don't be ashamed to ask God for that to happen. So yeah, I do believe there is a best, not a one, and there's tons of grace, and God just, I want Him to write my love story. I do, and I've heard so many amazing testimonies and love stories that God has written, and that's what I want. That's what I'm looking for. So
amen. That's good. I think last question, even though I feel like in some ways we've answered this, but if you were to give advice to someone out there that says, I desire this, I want to be in a relationship, I want to have someone in my life, what should I look for? Give me like 3 guidelines or whatever. It doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be a number, but what do I look for in someone that I could potentially spend the rest of my life with?
Okay, wait, so I'm talking to a single young lady? No.
No.
Anyone who's single.
You are talking to someone who just ran up to you and is like, look, I'm single and I really want to be in a relationship with someone for long term. It doesn't matter their gender. I don't care what it is. Okay, it could be an alien from outer space, but what do I look for in a significant other?
All right. They need to be, number one, like I said at the beginning of this video, loving God, serving God, and actively involved in church. You don't have to have a title, but look for someone who is in church, faithfully serving, not showing up at church once a month and just barely stumbling in there. Like, you really want to look for someone that is passionate about the same things you are. If you're passionate about God, you need to meet someone who's also passionate about God. And if they really truly are, you're going to see them serving in church faithfully. So that's a big one. And the other thing I would say is someone who is pure, someone who guards their heart. For me, it's a big deal because I'm very careful about what kind of movies I watch and music I listen to. Because I know those things have an effect on our minds and our hearts, and I'm not saying you can't watch movies, oh my gosh, or she, you, whatever, that person you're looking for, just someone who's very intentional about what they're taking in, what they're looking at, how they talk. You can find out a lot about a person by how they talk, because Jesus says what's in our heart, eventually it's going to come out. And so pay attention to those things. The other thing I would say is look at their friend group. First of all, gotta have some friends. If you can't just be the two of you going at this, you can't be each other's accountability partners. That person needs to have a good, healthy group of community surrounding them. I always think about the quote that says, "Show me your friends and I'll show you your future." And it's so true. We want to look for someone that has great friends there, as well, loving God, serving God, and really just doing life with them, good community. So God first, purity, and good community. That's what I would say.
I think that's good. Don't forget the 4th and final most important one, straight sexiness.
I don't like that word.
I think you pretty much covered it. I think that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you guys find this helpful. If not, I'm so sorry, but we just wasted 20 minutes of your life. Comment below if you have any other video suggestions, if you have any ideas, questions, comments, if you completely hated it. Don't let us know. Go ahead and move along.
But be blessed anyways.
Be blessed. We hope you guys have a great rest of your life, and stay tuned. Go follow Kristen on Instagram. Do you want to give out your handle or no? No? Guys, have a great night. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
Hope this was helpful.
Wait. Can't see me.
Be blessed.
Love you guys.
Not stressed. All right. Bye.
Hope you find the one you're looking for.